Alright everyone, welcome to the new series, which is PWHL commentary while I play PWHL in NHL 26. This is not the official first episode of this new series, but it's been some time since we've talked PWHL, and I want to change that. Recently, the Hockey News posted a discussion of which PWHL coaches may be on the hot seat, and I want to give my own thoughts on that. There isn't an obvious answer to this question, but there are a couple of coaches who may be let go if next season doesn't go a certain way for their teams. Before I get into the discussion, if you're a new viewer, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell so you don't miss whenever I upload. Also, if you enjoy my content, please smash that like button. Let's go for 10 likes this time around. First coach to possibly be on the hot seat, I'm sure lots will agree with, is Greg Fargo of the New York Sirens. He's only been there for one season though, so his job shouldn't be completely in jeopardy. He's going to have a lot of pressure on his shoulders to ensure that the team doesn't finish in last place for a third straight time. GM Pascal Daoust took some gambles by allowing top forward Alex Carpenter to be exposed to expansion teams, and by trading Ella Shelton to the Toronto Scepters for the draft picks that became Casey O'Brien and Maddie Wheeler. That's their two alternate captains that are no longer part of the team. Now their forward core doesn't have a clear veteran leader, but it looks like it could be very solid for the future, with Christina Kaltunkova being drafted first overall, who previously played under Coach Fargo at Colgate University, and Sarah Fillier signing an extension, but I also believe the management, as did mention, will have a say in the team's future management decisions. I still don't think this team has what it takes to get into the playoffs, but the pressure will still be high for the newcomers to have good rookie seasons, and for the core to show they can play together. They definitely don't want to finish last place by a long shot again, because if they do, I don't even know what the solution to that problem could be, other than maybe trust in the young core that they will grow into a dominant team at one point. Could it be Pascal Daoust who's on the hot seat instead? I don't think it will be totally fair to always blame the coach for a team's misfortunes, because it is the GM who assembles the roster in the first place. Unless the players are asking for a change in the coaching staff like they did following Season 1, as some were describing the team culture as toxic, I'd keep a close eye on New York's performance to see where Coach Fargo's future may be with the team. The other coach to probably watch out for the status of is Carla McLeod of the Ottawa Charge. You may think it's silly to think this, given how Ottawa made it to the finals and she was a nominee for Coach of the Year. Some even said she should have won it if playoff performance had anything to do with the final result. Funny enough though, when Ottawa was struggling earlier in the season, there were lots of fans saying that she needed to be let go. I was hearing discussion about how some of the players didn't like her style of coaching, which is why a couple of them didn't re-sign with the team. They also struggled to attract new players to the team via free agency. In looking at their roster from face value, I don't see a playoff team. Something that Chris Sinclair of the Hockey News pointed out, shout out, is how Carla McLeod would regularly point out following losses is how the team is growing together and how they wouldn't make changes. The problem I have with that comment is the fact that it's shown how in this league, things have to be thought about short term most of the time. That comment was pretty valid in Season 1, but with expansion and contracts expiring, the team is looking fairly different compared to the inaugural season, minus a few of the key players they had from the jump. I believe they only have 4 players remaining that were on the team's inaugural roster, those being Brianne Jenner, Emily Clark, Gabby Hughes, and Katerina Mrazova. Of course, it's fair to say that you want to grow as a team during the course of the season, because things can take time and there's slow starts occasionally. What I'm hoping to see is to see the minutes among the defense spread out. I'm loving the addition of Rory Gilday through the draft, and I'm expecting Stephanie Markowski to get more minutes. By the way, EA Sports, you have her as a right-handed shot when she's a lefty. And I absolutely loved Ronja Savalainen, which added much needed size on the back end. What needs to happen though is these players need to be played in the right role, which the players were in the playoffs, they just came up short unfortunately. My question mark also comes to Gwyneth Phillips, who was outstanding in the playoffs for the team, but with her now being the full-time starter for Ottawa, will she be able to play close to her playoff performance for an entire season? To replicate it 100% is too much to ask, but can she be a Goalie of the Year nominee again? What I don't want to see is Phillips being played for 25 plus games, similar to what the team did to Emmerich Maschmeyer in Season 1. I know Sandra Abstrider was slightly injured, but they have to believe in their entire team to go on a run again. I don't see them making the playoffs, but I know there's still expectations that they want to meet, because if not, McLeod's time with this team may be over. And personally, I think that she's more on the hot seat than Greg Fargo may be. There are a few other coaches who could potentially be on the hot seat, such as Corey Chevry of the Montreal Victoire. After failing to make it past the first round of the playoffs in back-to-back seasons, fans have been wanting to change, but the team has chosen to keep her around. It's something to watch out for though. perhaps even Brian Nadolski and Steve O'Rourke of Vancouver and Seattle respectively. They've just been brought in for the new expansion teams, but with their inaugural rosters looking very talented right away, the pressure may be on them to lead their teams on a run. For the sake of time, I'll save these discussions for another video. If you enjoyed this discussion, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. What do you think of this format? I may do this kind of commentary over an online shootout instead, as these won't be long enough for me to make it last over a full gameplay. Feel free to tell me what you prefer. Be sure to check out my other off-season videos as displayed at the top of your screen, and be ready for more of these kinds of commentaries in the future. Until then, I will see you next time. Bye!